After the last book, I still had weird trains on my mind, so I decided to move to another book that featured weird trains that I had on my reading list. So this book is called Predatory Natures by Amy Goldsmith. The main character, Laura, is kind of desperate to get away from home for a while. Like, she's recently had a major falling out with her friends as well as her academic career. Like, she wasn't able to pass her college exams the way she had originally planned. So it's kind of derailed her entire original expectations, I guess, for what she was going to be doing. So instead, she's taking a gap year and in the meantime has accepted a job working on a luxury train. So the idea is that she can use this job to get away from home and possibly experience something new and do something to take her mind off all the troubles that have been plaguing her. And at first it seems kind of like the train is going to be exactly that. Like, the only hitch in this plan is that her former friend and crush Reese is also working on the train, since applying for this job was actually his idea in the first place. But other than that, things start off pretty well. But the job and the setting starts to get a little bit peculiar when Laura wakes in the middle of the night to find that their train has temporarily stopped at an abandoned station, and they have added like 2 additional private cars to the train full of really strange plants. And then there's also like a set of siblings who have joined the train, whose cars those were. Like, they say they're transporting these plants for research purposes, only there seems to be something off about both the siblings and the train cars that are now part of their entourage. And as their journey continues, stuff starts to happen, like odd sicknesses on the train and very strange dreams that start to plague both Laura and her friend. The story combines figuring out what's going on with those train cars with I guess Laura working out her relationship issues. So something I liked. The mystery element of this story was strong enough to keep me reading. Like, it all ties in with some Welsh folklore or something. Like, I'm not familiar enough to know if it's drawing from an actual story or if it's something the author made up for the purpose of this book. But I think that whole looking into ancient mythology and unpacking what's going on aspect of it was why I read the entire book. But that being said, I did not like the discussion of Laura's social life. Like, I had 0 interest and 0 sympathy for her social drama because, as in my opinion, pretty much everything bad that happened to her was entirely the fault of her own shallowness and stupidity. I mean, because everything kind of begins with her crush on her friend, and a lot of the actions she takes, it's like the story wants to give examples of how she fell into a toxic relationship and she needs to work out finally not being stupid and standing up for herself. I will give her credit for realizing that she was being stupid near the end of the book, so I guess that is a plus. But there's just so many of her actions that make me really uninclined, I guess, to care what happens to her. I mean, she falls into the bad relationship because she left the party when she was originally going to tell her crush that she liked him, because she misunderstood and thought he didn't like her. But judging from the account it gives of that event, it didn't really seem like he gave any indication one way or the other. So she kind of blows things out of proportion and then immediately falls in love with this random guy who gave her a ride home, like literally the same night she first meets this person, where she was supposedly devastated about her crush not being returned. She's wondering if this random guy who dropped her off will like ask her out on a date. Like, it just makes her emotions come across to me as extremely shallow. So, that kind of relationship falling apart, of course it fell apart. It's so obvious. And during the course of that, like, she treats her friends like garbage. Like, she doesn't honestly deserve the friendship and stuff. Like, the story seems to think that a lot of this is not her fault, but honestly, I think a lot of it is. Like, it's not all her fault. That is true. But unlike with the situation some women in that kind of relationship, like, are in, like, she had choices, and a lot of the fallout was a result of her own bad judgment and poor choices. So yeah, I guess you can tell that I was unimpressed, I guess, by her aspect of the story. And if it wasn't for the fact that I wanted to know what was going on with the train and the plants and everything, I would have stopped reading this book quite early on.